When I was 6 years old, my dad came back from his business trip with a brand new Nintendo DS Lite. I was so joyful, and as soon as I got my hands on it, I started playing every single day. There are games such as Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Cats and Dogs, and there were so many others. They had very simple mechanics, were explained on a 2 by 9 by 5.2 inch screen, and didn't even look that good. My mom always wondered why I enjoyed these games so much. But they had such a large impact. The storytelling was magnificent and captivating in a very simple way. They were just levels, and you just had to complete them until you finished the story. But the way they were put and constructed was something of another wonder. So fast forward a couple of years, and I got my first PS4. After months of asking my dad for it, I got my hand on this amazing thing with so much potential. I would spend hours exploring open world games and get so frustrated when I couldn't finish a level on a shooter game. Just make it to the checkpoint, I would tell myself. And after many retries of trying to save my ammunition, get past NPCs unscathed, I finally finished the level. There was such a sense of pride and happiness like no other. And those are the moments that really make you fall in love with video gaming. So enough talk about my personal experience, let's take it back to the origins. Just about 30 years ago, video games started a cultural revolution. Game Boy and Atari would kick this off with games such as Super Mario and Donkey Kong. And so then came Sonic the Hedgehog and Pokemon, and every kid in the 90s will learn to know of them. Continuing onward, games like GTA, San Andreas, and Call of Duty would become very popular among teens and adults alike. And when Black Ops came out, it would have people spending 600 million hours on it worldwide, only on the first month. But these games would also raise large speculation on whether video games are safe for use by young individuals. Parents start speculating on whether their child will become aggressive or have certain changes in behavior. The idea that video games drive real world aggression is a popular one, but it hasn't tested very well over time. Despite interest in the topic by parents and policymakers, the research has not demonstrated that there is a cause for concern. Professor Andrew Trubisky has noted, who studied the behavior of 2008 14 to 15-year-old British boys. They also had the same numbers of caregivers and lived in very similar lifestyles. In a survey made by QT, 93% of 835 attendees said the link between games and violence was not really justified. And even with not many links of video games and aggression, many parents still hold on to this opinion. Yes, trash talking and rage in video games is very common, but who doesn't get angry when your teammate can't hear you because he doesn't have a microphone in a multiplayer shooter? In contrast, video games have been shown to improve cognitive skills. A gamer's eyes have been shown to be better than a non-gamer's. Their eyes accustom easily at the sight of clutter and can differentiate hues of one color better. This is very apparent with the color gray. The Daphne Behavior had gamers and non-gamers watch flashing images of a word that said a color but a different color text. She was a cognitive researcher and wanted to know more about a gamer's brain. So, back to the game. They were asked to shout the color of the text uh, but not the actual word. So we can look at this image. I want you to shout the color of the ink, not the word. See how many you can do. So you can see how this gets progressively tougher over time, or even difficult from the start for some. So in the end, out of all Bavaliers attendees, gamers and younger people came out on top. They were faster in their thinking and in their reflexes. In another experiment, the average gamer was shown to be able to focus on 6 to 7 objects at once. They were shown moving images, and for example, 6 things had different colors, and then they would change color, and the question was to ask, okay, so which were those objects? And so they noticed pretty much all of them in most experiments, whereas the average person can only focus on 3 to 4 objects at once. Gamers are also really good at switching actions fast and have better reflexes as to what is the objective in hand. Now, if gaming is excessive, it is not healthy. Binging is never good in any situation, and video gaming is not an exception. But if used in moderation, gaming can actually be pretty beneficial. Now, on another matter, I was watching a video and saw a YouTube comment. It said, video games give me quick reflexes, critical thinking skills, and help me with like anger, depression, and stress. This really made me think a lot about video gaming and really the impact that it has on an individual. How do video games affect mental health? Well, in a survey made by QT with 835 members, 44% said that the biggest effects video games had on them was their emotional well-being. A study done by East Carolina University suggests that playing just 30 minutes of video games per day can treat anxiety and depression at a level that rivals prescription medication. Mystery games and puzzle games have been shown to have the biggest effects on alleviating stress. And I can personally identify with this, as if I had a stressful day, I would just turn on my PS4 and then just kind of forget about the outside world. It might seem to some as a way of isolation, but it's just temporary. Video games are a social experience, and I can say from a personal point of view that they have made new connections for me and friends that I love. I have made so much friends through video gaming with so many different personalities and attributes to them. And it's just a lot of fun just having someone that isn't there physically, but you can just talk to at any time, at any hour. In the end, video games are becoming increasingly popular, and the ideas of implementing them in the classrooms are not uncommon these days. There have been many thoughts about them, as they have been shown to increase concentration and could be utilized by students, especially ones with ADHD or ADD that have problems with concentration and focusing. Video games are complex, they are well thought of and put care into, which make them all the most magical. Anything you can think of, maybe there's a video game about it, or maybe one can be developed one day. They make you laugh, do dumb things, and cry. You may watch a movie and say that you like it, but video games make you invest your time in them, make you feel like you are there and experiencing the environment. They make you feel important, and you make an impact in a non-existent world that yet seems almost too real. Thank you.